going on, everybody? Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie, and welcome to the War Room. Welcome to everybody on Instagram. Welcome to everybody on my official YouTube channel. Welcome to the OG War Room family. This is what we do every Tuesday night at 8:30. We get together to talk about music, to talk about concerts, talk about everything that's going on in the world, and we talk about drinks, which is fantastic. This week, I'm going to give you a chance to win free tickets to see Porno for Pyros on their farewell tour. The show just got moved from the MGM Music Hall at Fenway, right on Lansdowne Street, across the street to the House of Blues. So coming up in a little while, I am going to have your chance to get free tickets. So welcome. For anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Mistress Carrie, radio host, podcast host. Welcome to the War Room, which is the room in my house where all of the military memorabilia is from my family, from my trips embedded overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's also where the bar is. And starting on March 14th of 2020, at the very beginning of the pandemic, we started getting together live here in the War Room to talk about everything crazy that was going on in the world. We did 80 nights in a row, nearly became alcoholics. And then we launched the Mistress Carrie podcast. We launched MistressCarrie.com, and we turned Cocktails in the War Room into a weekly show. And so now we get together every Tuesday night. Episode 265 is tonight, which just blows my mind that it's been that many episodes. And I'm going to tell you tonight who's going to be on episode 195 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. I'll tell you where you can listen to the podcast. There's so much going on. So I want to say what's up to Christine, to Elsa, to Travis, Big Billy chiming in on Instagram. Emily and Elsa are here. Denise and Michelle, Carol, Bish, Donna, Steven. Steven, are you not getting sound? Everybody else seems to think everything is cool. So if you guys are having technical issues, let me know. Facebook, the official Mistress Carrie Facebook page, on my Mistress Carrie YouTube channel, and on my Instagram as well. And I do want to introduce you, in case you're new to the show, to my co-host, Wednesday. Say hi to everybody. Make sure everybody can see you. Just in case there's anybody new on Instagram that doesn't know who you are, Wednesday, or on YouTube. This is Wednesday. You can find her at Wednesday the Goth Pug on Instagram. That's the only social media handle she has because, well, to be perfectly honest, it's the only one I have time to even try to update. But Wednesday's been my co-host since the beginning of Cocktails in the War Room. We actually celebrated her second birthday live. I think we had like 8,000 people were here for her virtual birthday. And she's getting ready to turn 6 coming up in April, which is kind of crazy. So Wednesday gets her own pug cam, obviously, and she gets spoiled from time to time in Mail Call, which is coming up later on in the show. I do want to let you guys know that I am going to be traveling the rest of the week. I'm headed to Vegas to go to a bunch of music showcases and to check out a bunch of new bands. So I can't have the show run late tonight because I have a very early flight tomorrow morning and I still have so much recording and stuff that I need to get done. So I apologize if I'm talking fast, but we have a ton of stuff that we have to get through. Now, if you are new to the War Room, Bish says, check 1, check 2. Hello, Cleveland. If you're new to the War Room, if you've never been here before, you got to let us know in the comments what you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, where you're watching from, and that it's your first time joining us here in the War Room so that we can properly welcome you. Now, there are some War Room terminologies and some inside jokes. That's why we put together the dictionary, which is linked on the Cocktails in the War Room page at MistressCarrie.com. We've been getting together for a long time, and there's been a lot of alcohol consumed in these 265 episodes. So there's a lot of inside jokes, a lot of ball busting. So we put them up as a glossary. We call it the dictionary, and dictionary, and it's available at MistressCarrie.com so you guys don't get left behind. Let's see. Jimmy Sweeney says, hello, Carrie and Miss Wednesday. Have you heard the new Linkin Park song, Chester? It made me tear up, says Eric. I did hear that. We are going to talk about the new Linkin Park coming up. Barbara says it's Tuesday with Wednesday. Every Tuesday has Wednesday in it. Alexis says safe travels. Walter, get to packing Carrie's bags. Yeah, I have not finished packing yet. There's a lot going on today. Trust me. I do want to remind you and anybody that is new to the War Room, if you have not yet checked out the February issue of Rolling Stone magazine, it's the one with Dua Lipa on the cover. There is an article in there about the demise of WAAF, the company that bought 107.3 in Boston, all of the rock stations that they have put out of business, what their nonprofit business model is. So I always have people asking me, what happened to WAAF? Where did it go? Why did it get sold? Why are you guys not on 107.3 anymore? A very in-depth investigative look into who bought it, why they bought it, how they bought it, with what money did they use to buy it. So you can see it on rollingstone.com, or you can go and get an actual paper copy at the bookstore, which is what I did because I've never been mentioned in Rolling Stone magazine before. But Mike Shue and I and our program director, Joe Calgaro, the three of us that were in the studio the last night of AAF, we were all approached by Rolling Stone to give our 2 cents about the article, and it is now out on newsstands everywhere, including at the airport, because the other day I got a selfie from my husband, who is also traveling, not to Vegas, and he went into the bookstore and the magazine shop at the airport, and he was like, oh, there it is, and sent me a picture. So it is available everywhere. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can just go and get it on newsstands now. So, yeah, for anybody that's new to the War Room, what happens behind the scenes is that Wednesday begs for cookies. Wednesday down. Good girl. Can I have your paw? Thank you. Other paw. High five. Okay, down. So I have to keep a pocket full of cookies. And when the cookie pocket is empty, Wednesday no longer pays attention to the show. And then she leaves until we bribe her to come back. So, what's up, Jessica? Says, sorry, I'm late. No problem. Heidi says, hey, MC, Wednesday, War Room family, favorite part of the week. Thank you very much. Donna says, you need to listen to the podcast in Africa to register on the countries. Yeah, so if you're new, we have a running tote board of how many countries are listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast. And there are definitely some countries in Africa that are not listening that we're trying to win over. So I'll put the map up in a little while. Wednesday says, give me treats and belly rubs. Jessica, trust me, she's getting them. Keith wants to know why you're late. Okay, so coming up, I got Porno for Pyros tickets. I want to fill you guys in on some events that are coming up. So if you were not aware, I am every weekday afternoon on 100 FM The Pike in Worcester. Mike Shue is the morning show host. I am the afternoon show host. And there's a lot going on with The Pike and events. First of all, another Feel Good Fridays at Waterfront Mary's is coming up the Friday before St. Patrick's Day, March 15th. It's an after-work thing, 5:30 to 7:30 in Webster, right on Webster Lake. So if you're looking for a place to go and kick off St. Patrick's Day weekend, you can do it with me at Waterfront Mary's for Feel Good Fridays with 100 FM The Pike. That's coming up Friday, March 15th. Also, the Big Gig 3 is coming up April 27th at the DCU Center in Worcester. Stained, Seether, Asking Alexandria, and Tim Montana, who I found out from a little birdie, by the way, because Tim Montana's been on the podcast, had a meeting at his record company today and had the label hear his completed new album. So there is a new album coming from Tim Montana. I don't know what the date. I don't know the title. We don't have the new song yet, but there is new music coming from Tim Montana, who's going to be opening up Big Gig 3 at the DCU Center on April 27th. Mike Shue and I are going to be your master and mistress of ceremonies for that one. And if you did not get your tickets, the link is in the concert and event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. There's also an official after party featuring Papercut, the Linkin Park tribute. That's happening when the big gig is over at Off the Rails, right across the street from the DCU Center. That is going to be a separate ticket, and you can get those tickets now. Also, if you were not aware, you can hear me every weekday afternoon on 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine. So depending on what kind of music you like, the Pike in Worcester is a little more classic rock. Wednesday, you're not being very nice. Whereas the Bone in Portland, Maine is definitely newer music, heavier music. You can stream both stations online. Both stations have an app, so you can listen to me wherever you're watching from right now. So just download the 100 FM, the Pike app, or the 106.3 The Bone app, and then you can listen to me any weekday afternoon. Also, another event that's coming up, you can join me at the 10-year memorial celebration of Michael Kennedy, firefighter Mikey Kennedy, who was killed in the Back Bay fire in Boston. I cannot believe it was 10 years ago, with Lieutenant Ed Walsh. And you may or may not know that he was a friend of mine personally and also a friend of the show. We did a lot of volunteer work together with the Boston Firefighters Burn Foundation. He was killed in a fire in the Back Bay. You may have seen it if you're not from the Boston area on the news, because it was like 5 brownstones down from where Tom Brady lived on the Charles River in Boston. And the Boston Fire Department was actually able to stop the fire in the brownstones before it destroyed more property and hurt more people. However, 2 firefighters from the Boston Fire Department were killed, including my friend Mikey Kennedy. So they are having a 10-year memorial celebration of Mikey Kennedy. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be live music. It's happening at Florian Hall, which is the Boston Fire Department Union Hall. And that is happening coming up on March 24th. And the detail links, everything you need to know in the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. But I am going to be there as well. And so if you come from a firefighting family like I do, if you ride motorcycles, if you just want to come out and support, it would be great if you came out. And his family will be there. His mom started a foundation in his honor. And so they are going to be there as well. So it's going to be a fantastic day. A lot of his firefighting brothers are going to be there. Mikey was an amazing guy. And he and I were actually at a Boston Firefighter Burn Foundation function the night before the fire. And it was just devastating for the Boston Fire Department, devastating for the Boston Firefighters Burn Foundation, for all of his loved ones, his friends, his family, anybody that knew him. He was just a fantastic guy. So details on this 10-year memorial celebration are up in the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Now, if you're new to the War Room, every week we go through the books that I have here in my bar in the War Room, and we try to come up with new drink recipes to up our cocktail game a little bit. And we're always looking for something that is a little out of the ordinary. We try to avoid drinks with eggs in them because I don't know who enjoys drinks with eggs. Every bartender I know hates making drinks with eggs, but there are people that actually enjoy them, and I don't. Well, frankly, I just don't understand you. If you like raw eggs whipped into a froth in your drink, I just don't understand. All right, so today's drink is called the Coconilla Delight. It is an ounce of gold rum, 1 banana peeled, an ounce of coconut cream, 3 ounces of pineapple juice, 3 ounces of fresh orange juice, 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream. In case you're not joining us from Massachusetts, it was 62 degrees in Worcester today. In February, which is just strange. So I wanted to have something that was a little tropical and something that had a little ice cream in it because I kind of got spring fever today. So this is called the Coconilla Delight. It's got gold rum, a banana, coconut cream, pineapple juice, fresh orange juice, and vanilla ice cream. It says blend all of the ingredients with crushed ice, pour into a highball glass, and serve with a straw. Now, one of the things that we always try to do here in the War Room when we're talking about making drinks is finding ways to garnish. And what I thought would be the best garnish for this drink, which by the way, I'm going to put it up there so that you can screen grab it. Can you read that? Sorry, hold on. Let me see if I can get. There you go. I swear to God, I'm not drunk yet. So I thought if you got Nilla wafers and smashed them and turned them into crumbs and lined the drink with Nilla wafer crumbs and then floated, say, a maraschino cherry, which is always good on top, this drink would be amazing. So if you like bananas, if you like rum, it says an ounce of rum. Really? I think we could do better than that. There's obviously a banana liqueur you could throw in there. I think this would be a great drink for a coconut vodka to be added in there, or maybe an orange vodka or something, since there's orange, banana, and pineapple in there as well. But yeah, you could put the coconut rum in there too. There's coconut cream. I say add more booze, but that's called the Coconilla Delight. So there you go. Fake spring. Let's bask in its glory. Yes. Mistress, I drank the drinks, and all I can say is I can't walk afterwards, nor speak, says Heidi. Look, we're all in the safety of our respective war rooms right now. I'm not saying to get up and walk after. I'm just saying sit, relax, put your feet up, have a drink. It's fine. For anybody that's not aware, I host a podcast called the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Last week's episode was episode 194, and it featured Rick Wills from Foreigner. Now, he is the bass player of the band that was in the band during the heyday of Foreigner. He does not tour with the band anymore because he's just older, and he said just keeping up with touring is just too much for him now. He lives half the year in New Hampshire, ironic because he's an Englishman, half the year in Florida, and he does jump up on stage with the band from time to time. They all still get along really well. And so I wanted to talk to Rick because, of course, Foreigner got nominated for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2024. Now, so many rock stars have come out pushing for Foreigner to get into the Rock Hall. Most recently, Paul McCartney, who said, quote unquote, it's fucked that Foreigner is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mark Ronson, the producer who has produced everything, including the Barbie soundtrack, he actually got this video of Paul McCartney because Mark Ronson, the record producer's father-in-law, is the lead singer of Foreigner. So he released this video that had everybody from Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Jack Black to Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, Dave Grohl, Slash, encouraging people to vote for Foreigner, who has more top 10 hits than Journey and as many top 10 hits as Fleetwood Mac, and both of those bands are already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I wanted to talk to Rick Wills, who was just beside himself, excited that Foreigner, for the first time, even though they've been eligible for over 20 years, eligibility is 25 years from the date of your first release. Foreigner has been eligible for decades and has not even been nominated yet. And now they're nominated. They're in the top 3 of the fan voting alongside Peter Frampton and Ozzy, who got nominated as a solo artist this year. But Rick was just super excited to get nominated. There are a lot of artists that do not think kindly of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Gallagher brothers from Oasis that got nominated this year were basically like, get fucked. We don't care. We don't want anything to do with it. But the guys from Foreigner were like, you know what? We wanted to make music that was going to stand the test of time. Getting Foreigner into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame establishes the legacy of the band long after we're gone. And that means a lot to us and why we would like to get in. Sorry, I have a hair that is tickling my nose. It's driving me crazy. So they are asking everybody, fan voting is open until April 26th. You can vote for up to 7 artists. I think they nominated 15 artists. You can vote for up to 7 artists once a day until April 26th. And Foreigner is out on the road with Styx right now on the Renegades and Jukebox Heroes tour. Big amphitheater tour that is going out all summer long, and you can see them as well. Bish is singing in all caps here in the comments. What's up, Kimberly? First time being nominated anyway. Yeah, I mean, look, they need to get in there. It's ridiculous that they're not in there. So I hate those hairy tickles. Yeah, look, when you have long hair, you know when there's a hair astray. You can feel it if it's like loose in your shirt, if there's one tickling you. I don't know. For anybody that's new to the War Room, this is how the wheels start to fall off the wagon. Michelle says, the Hall of Fame is a really cool place. I've been a couple of times. Definitely check it out if you ever get the chance. I have always had a blast in Cleveland. There are people that think Cleveland is a dump. I have always, the times I can remember being in Cleveland, I have always had an absolute blast. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the building is gorgeous. So if you haven't been, it's a reason to go to Cleveland. I don't know why else you would go to Cleveland. Maybe to go see the Sox play in Cleveland or the Pats play in Cleveland, or the Bruins or the Celtics maybe. Marcy says, yes, I know the feeling. Let's see. Try long hair in the desert. My normal long hair is a fucking fro right now, says Eric. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Let's see. Perfect way to end the documentary that's coming out. Exactly. It's very cool. So that was last week's episode of the podcast, episode 194, featuring Rick Wills from Foreigner. A new episode goes live at midnight tonight, episode 195. I can't believe, by the way, that I'm getting close to episode 200. And I have put out feelers to figure out who's going to be my guest on episode 195. And I don't know who it's going to be yet. People have emailed me. They've asked. I don't know. I don't know if I want to make a big deal out of episode 200 or if I just want to just keep on rolling and just release another episode with whoever the guest is that week. But we'll see who says yes and what I can nail down. This week, episode 195 features founding and original drummer Roger Earl from Foghat, who is another Englishman that grew up in the music scene in England in the 60s and has since relocated to the States. I caught up with him from his home in Long Island, where he has lived since the 70s. And he's in his 70s, still the touring drummer for Foghat. He's one of the founding and original members. And he's an absolute blast. First of all, he's got these insane mutton chops. Sorry, do I have something on my nose? Hey. Is it because I said mutton chops? So he's got this long gray hair. That's him right here in the picture. He's got this long gray hair and these crazy long chops. And he is just, he's just awesome. He and I hit it off. Such a great guy. Wait till you hear the story about what he did with his first royalty check from Foghat. It's a total rock star move and hilarious. Wednesday. We talked about a bunch of stuff, including the fact that their new album, Sonic Mojo, is available in collectible purple vinyl, which he showed me. They are out on the road right now with Starship this Friday night. In case you're looking for something to do, they're going to be at the Lynn Auditorium this Friday night. Tickets are on sale now. They are also going to be coming back in May. I don't know when tickets go on sale, but they're going to be at Mohegan Sun this May as well. But Foghat out on the road, new album out, and Roger Earl. The stories that these guys tell about what it was like coming up in the music scene in England in the 60s. The people that they're all friends with, because they all know each other. The Stones, the Beatles, the guys in Zeppelin, Sabbath, these guys all know each other. And the stories they have to tell are pretty epic. So cannot wait for you guys to hear this week's episode 195, featuring Roger Earl from Foghat. You are going to absolutely love it. Let's see. Keith says you might want to see a doctor for that. Let's see. Yeah, not touching that one, says Jonathan. He's friends with Elton John. Yeah, these guys are all friends. They all came up together. They've all partied together. They all used to get wasted together. Some of them got sober together. But what I realized with Roger is that I think a lot of these bands are so excited that younger music fans are so excited to interview these guys, to meet these guys, because they are the bedrock, right? They are the foundation of rock and roll, and all of the new music that we all love is all inspired by all of these guys. If you're a motorcycle rider, you can't go to a motorcycle rally or a motorcycle event without somebody playing Slow Ride, which we talked about in this episode as well. And so for somebody like me that's always loved Foghat, to be able to talk to him about the early days of his career, about why he started playing the drums, what made him want to start writing songs, how he put Foghat together, you could tell that he kind of got a kick out of the fact that I was making such a big deal out of the fact that I actually got to talk to him. So I can't wait for you guys to hear this episode. Let's see. Jonathan says, late. Jessica wants to know how my mom is doing. So my mom is doing really, really well. For anybody that is new to the War Room, we've been getting together for nearly 4 years now. Not only did we ride out the pandemic together, but a lot has happened in those 4 years. I got engaged. I got married. My dad passed away. And my mom was diagnosed with dementia and early onset Alzheimer's. And so I've been talking about it for the last few years here, because when you're going through something like that, it helps to hear from other people that have been through it as well. And so my mom is far along in her illness now, where the family is not able to keep to take care of her. She lived with me for a decade, and it got to the point where we just could not keep enough of an eye on her, could not take care of her ourselves, could not give her the level of care that she required. And so she has been in a facility since the family made that decision. Recently, within the last few weeks, she was transferred to a facility that was much closer to the family, and she is doing great. I get to see her almost every day now, and that has made navigating my mom's illness a lot easier, to have access to her, to be able to have meals with her. Wednesday sees her at least once a week. I got permission to be able to bring Wednesday in there so that she can visit. I can only bring Wednesday on the days where I don't have to rush out of there, because all of the patients there are so happy to see Wednesday that I can't get in and out of there quickly. So it's been really good. Obviously, I know my mom is not going to get better, but her spirits are good. I had dinner with her last night. We listened to music together. I bring her snacks. We got her new sneakers this week to try and get her moving and exercising a little more. And once the weather is nicer, to be able to get her outside and in the fresh air, in the sun. Where she is now is just, it's just made it so much better for not just me, but my entire family. So, and while I'm going to be traveling to Vegas this week, I always have family members staying at the house, not only, just to have somebody at the house, but also to have somebody with Wednesday. And so my sister is going to be able to spend a lot of time with my mom, which we're really grateful for. So, right, Wednesday? Right? Are you going to go see Grammy? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I want to let you guys know, episode 195 of the Mistress Carrie podcast goes live at midnight tonight. If you subscribe to the podcast, not only do you get the full-length episodes every Wednesday, but every weekday I keep you up to date with everything that's going on in rock music, with entertainment, with music in general. It's a 5-ish minute, sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7-minute entertainment report. We call it the Sit Rep. And so if you subscribe to the podcast, you get the Sit Rep every weekday morning, and then every Wednesday morning you get the new episodes as well. And if you're wondering, where can I listen to the Mistress Carrie podcast? Literally everywhere. Every podcast outlet that you can think of has the Mistress Carrie podcast. Just search for it. There's a lot of links to be able to subscribe at mistresscarrie.com. You can listen to the audio of all of the episodes on my official YouTube, but there are also embedded players if you just go to mistresscarrie.com and you just hit play. And if you're wondering where you can listen, well, first of all, you can listen anywhere. Right now, we're up to 149 countries that are listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast and counting. So if anybody is new watching on YouTube or Instagram, definitely subscribe, and hopefully we'll get the rest of this map filled in. If you are celebrating your birthday today, we always like to toast everybody celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday to you. You share your birthday with Josh Groban, with Johnny Van Zant from Lynyrd Skynyrd, Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden, and Neil Schon from Journey. So happy birthday to you, and happy unbirthday, Keith. Cheers to you guys. By the way, copper mug means Moscow mules, which are my favorite and delicious. So thank you guys for all the love about Mom, by the way. I've gotten sappy many a night here in the War Room. I can't count the times that I have cried here in the War Room from time to time. Alzheimer's is not a new disease. My family's adjustment to my mom's illness, we're not the first ones to go down this road. And all of the love and support, the private messages, the emails, the comments that I get from people that have navigated this journey, as my family has, because older generations of my family have also had this. So it definitely runs in the family. But when it's your mom, it hits a little different. And so everybody that's reached out privately, everybody that's reached out, online, just offering support, advice, it means a lot, not only to me, but to my family, because they all see it as well. Let's talk about some music headlines, because there's a lot going on in rock and roll. A reminder that Serj Tankian from System of a Down has his long-awaited memoir coming out. It's called Down with the System, and it's set for release on May 14th. We're also getting Alex Van Halen's book. His memoir, Brothers, is coming out on October 22nd. 384 pages of the Van Halen legacy. I'm very interested what kind of dirt we're going to get. Sammy Hagar says he reached out to Alex following the death of Eddie Van Halen about a possible tribute show or tour. Never heard back. So is there sour grapes between Sammy and Alex, or David Lee Roth and Alex? Where Wolfgang fits in with all of this stuff? We know that David Lee Roth has been talking crap about Wolfgang recently. So is 384 pages going to be enough to go through all of the Van Halen stuff? I don't know. So the System of a Down book, Down with the System from Serj Tankian is coming out in May, and then Brothers from Alex Van Halen coming out in October. Pearl Jam's new album, Dark Matter, is coming out on April 19th. The title track, Dark Matter, is out now. That's the first single. Eddie Vedder said in an interview, this is the band's best work. This is the band that released 10. This is the band that followed up and avoided the sophomore slump, releasing Verses. And he says that Dark Matter is the band's best work. I cannot wait to hear this record. AC/DC's European Power Trip Live Tour is announced and on sale. We're on AC/DC watch right now because we've got no dates in North America, and fingers crossed that we're going to get them. Linkin Park announced last week that they are releasing a hits retrospective called Paper Cuts that's going to go from 2000 to 2023. It's going to represent all of their albums, including One More Light, the band's final studio album that they recorded in 2017, because an outtake from that record, Friendly Fire, is added on the Greatest Hits collection, and that is the first single and is available everywhere. And in the end, just got certified diamond in the United States, which is just crazy. That's 10 million, in case you're keeping track. Gold, 500,000, platinum, 1 million, double platinum, triple platinum, blah, blah, blah. When you get to 10 times platinum, they certify you diamond, which is just insane. So that Linkin Park collection coming out on April 12th. Couple shows coming to the TD Garden in Boston. Incubus, the Morning View Tour. They're going to do the album in its entirety, plus all the hits. That's August 31st. Those tickets are available now. Jelly Roll, massive tour. His first headlining arena tour. He is going to be at the TD Garden on September 26th. The tickets go on sale to the general public this Friday, March 1st. They have already had pre-sales, and the amount of people trying to get these Jelly Roll tickets is just insane. So it's definitely going to sell out. So if you want to go and see Jelly Roll, tickets go on sale 10 a.m. to the general public this Friday. Coming to the DCU Center, Big Gig 3, we talked about April 27th with Stain, Seether, Asking Alexandria, and Tim Montana. Also coming to the DCU Silver Scream Con 3. This is the horror, gore, metal festival that Spencer Charnas and the guys from Ice Nine Kills put together. This is a new venue for them. It's going to be at the DCU Center September 13th through the 15th. So make sure you put that one on the calendar, and I am going to be there for that. And also at the DCU, Iron Maiden, the aforementioned Iron Maiden, are going to be there on November 6th. More shows. Let's see, the Deathless tour with Crown the Empire. That's going to be at Big Night Live, and also Starset at Big Night Live. Those dates right here are on the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com as well. The Xfinity Center, it's going to be a busy summer. And after 62 degrees today, I cannot wait for it. Hardy on the Quit Tour, June 21st. Alanis Morissette, July 9th. Limp Bizkit, July 31st. Styx and Foreigner, August 2nd. The Doobie Brothers, August 12th. ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd, August 17th. 30 Seconds to Mars, August 18th. Creed with Three Doors Down and Finger 11, August 21st. Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie, September 6th. And more shows are getting announced all the time. Let's see. Louise says, I got my Jelly Roll tickets yesterday. That is fantastic. Michelle says, I got my Pearl Jam tickets for Fenway. So we'll go over all the shows at Fenway coming up. Also, Adamant is going to be at the Wilbur coming up April Fool's Day. Steve Vai and Joe Satriani at the Orpheum April 5th. Bush announced the Loaded Greatest Hits Tour at the Leader Bank Pavilion in Boston with Jerry Cantrell and Candlebox. Those tickets are on sale now. And Foghat and Starship, we talked about it already. That's this Friday at the Lynn Auditorium. And those tickets are available now. Hey, don't do that. The Sasanta Tour, which is celebrating Maynard James Keenan's 60th birthday, is going to be at the Box Center Wing Theater coming up April 2nd and 3rd. Tickets are on sale now. Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. So Maynard is doing double duty on that tour. 2 shows. Dead Poets Society, they're going to be at Sinclair in Cambridge on May 6th. The Stones are going to be at Gillette on May 30th, and Metallica at Gillette on August 2nd and 4th. The M72 weekends, the no repeat weekends with different openers on each night. And also shows at Fenway, there are a lot. Hootie and the Blowfish with Collective Soul and the Bare Naked Ladies and Edwin McCain on June 21st. The Foos, this is completely sold out on July 21st. Blink-182, July 23rd. Def Leppard and Journey with Heart, August 5th. Green Day, the Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas. This is also sold out. And Pearl Jam, these shows are going to sell out too. People are just losing their minds about it. September 15th and 17th. Let's see. Wednesday is the Wild and Crazy Pug. You guys talking about ticket prices. these shows are not cheap. They're not going to be cheap, especially the Fenway shows, because Fenway doesn't hold as many people as a lot of the other stadiums that they can play. And so they've got to jack the prices up to be able to justify the production costs and stuff. So Bish says, just love how the Stones tour is being sponsored by AARP. Oh, the irony. I know. You got to love it. It's freaking hilarious. All right, let's go over some more shows, including the Palladium, Queensryche and Armored Saint on April 27th. Nita Strauss and Diamante, that one is coming up with Starbenders on March 12th. Maylene and the Sons of Disaster is going to be May 18th. And the NoFX finale tour is going to be at Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. That's going to be August 31st and September 1st. All of these shows are on sale now. The links, everything you need to know on the event calendar at mistresscarrie.com. And if today and the warm weather didn't get you excited about St. Patrick's Day, and the countdown is on, the Dropkick Murphys are going to be doing a bunch of shows on Lansdowne Street, including at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on March 15th, 16th, and 17th. Porno for Pyros, scheduled to play the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on March 5th. It has been moved to the House of Blues. I have tickets for this show coming up in a couple of minutes. I'm going to tell you how to get them, so do not leave me just yet. Porno for Pyros, the farewell tour at the House of Blues. Guster at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on March 30th. Judas Priest on April 25th. The Black Crowes, April 28th. Bad Religion and Social D, May 7th. Gary Clark Jr., June 7th. And Kings of Leon just announced they'll be at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on September 16th. House of Blues, Porno for Pyros. We talked about it. It got moved over here March 5th. Alkaline Trio, March 10th. The Dropkicks are going to kick off St. Patrick's Day week at the House of Blues on March 14th. Blackberry Smoke is going to be there on March 21st. Architects on May 6th. And the Black Veil Brides on May 8th. Also, at the Paradise Rock Club, Code Orange. That show was this week. Need to pull that out of there. I'll drink because I made a mistake on the screen. Matisyahu is going to be at the Paradise on March 16th. David Draymond from Disturbed started a GoFundMe to raise money for private security from Matisyahu because he has been getting threatened because he's Jewish on this tour, which is, I can't even talk about it without being infuriated. So David Draymond is raising money for this Matisyahu tour to get Matisyahu private security. But he's going to be at the Paradise March 16th, and Girls School is going to be there on March 29th. Okay, would you like to win some Porno for Pyros tickets? Here is how you do it. Porno for Pyros is going to be at the House of Blues coming up on March 5th. I have got tickets to give away. Go to mistresscarrie.com right now because this is first come, first serve. I'm going to give as many tickets away as I can, but you got to get in there fast. Go to mistresscarrie.com right now while you're watching the show. In the top right-hand corner, there is a button that says Message the Studio. Click that. Put Porno for Pyros in the subject. Make sure that you give me your full name and your email address and send me a message that you want to go. As soon as the show gets over, I am going to start giving tickets away to anybody that messaged me that they want to go see Porno for Pyros at the House of Blues. And I am going to give as many pairs of tickets away as I have to as many people as are entered to win. So go to mistresscarrie.com, hit the Message the Studio button, make sure I have your full name, your email address, put Porno for Pyros in the subject line, and I will do my best to hook you up with free tickets, which we do from time to time here in the War Room. I like hooking you guys up with tickets if I can. Okay, music releases, new releases this week. Now, first of all, you will notice that there are a bunch of vinyl reissues. Let me get the hiccups. Whew. See if I can get rid of them. I get the hiccups a lot in the War Room. You guys notice that? AC/DC is releasing a bunch of vinyl reissues this week, a ton. Now, are they doing this leading up to an announcement about a North American tour? I don't know, but I hope so. So this whole list of AC/DC reissues on vinyl. Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden is releasing his new solo album called The Mandrake Project. That is out on Friday. Liam Gallagher and John Squire are releasing their self-titled album. Ministry is releasing Hopium for the Masses. New Year's Day is releasing Half Black Heart. The Who is releasing Live at Shea Stadium 1982. And Black Sabbath is being covered by Zach Sabbath, and they're releasing a double album, Doomed and Forever Doomed. And yes, that is Zach Wild covering Black Sabbath in his Black Sabbath cover band, Zach Sabbath. So their new album is coming out this Friday. So there's a lot of new releases coming out this week. This is where we do mail call normally. Wednesday, nothing came in the mail for you this week. I'm sorry, Love Bug. She's sitting over there right now. No mail for you this week. I'm sorry. For anybody that might just be tuning in to Cocktails in the War Room, yes, I'm talking to my dog. So no mail in the mail call this week. But if you need to get to me, that's how you do it. Want to let you guys know that if you go to mistresscarrie.com, there is an online store. You can get hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, pint glasses, shot glasses, coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers, a 7-in-1 bartender tool, a crossbody bag that's clear plastic that you can take into concerts. There's a ton of stuff up there, guitar picks, coasters, and they are working on the final design right now for the Mistress Carrie drumsticks that are coming out. So I've been working with the guys from Vader Percussion, and they are coming up with Mistress Carrie drumsticks. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to call them, but it's hilarious. They're going to print custom Mistress Carrie drumsticks, and because Vader Percussion is based out of Massachusetts, when the drumsticks go into production, I'm actually going to go to the factory and see how they make the drumsticks and to be able to be there when they make my drumsticks, which I'm super excited about. So, Mistress Carrie drumsticks are on the way for anybody that's a drummer or anybody that just likes to collect drumsticks. If you do not have a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass yet, you can get them on Patreon. It's a way for you to get more Mistress Carrie. And is there ever too much Mistress Carrie? If you ask my husband, he says yes. I say no. But you can get a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass on Patreon. And we do a live stream, an exclusive live stream every month, which we did on Sunday night. So the Backstage Pass holders know a little bit more about some plans for the spring. They know more about the drumsticks and just some other things that we're working on. You also get tipped off on who is going to be on the podcast, so you can submit your own podcast questions. You get travel blog updates, which they will be getting updated on all of my exploits, all of the bands that I'm going to see while I'm in Vegas. And also, when you're traveling to places that you know that I've been, you can also ask me for suggestions on where to go. You get early access to event tickets and exclusive concert ticket giveaways. Now, I had been giving away Porno for Pyros tickets to Backstage Pass holders, but this week I decided to open it up to everybody in the War Room if you want to get them. And you also get merch discount codes to shop online at mistresscarrie.com. So when the drumsticks come out, Backstage Pass holders will be able to get them at a discount, and they'll be able to get access to them first. So if you want a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, go to patreon.com/Mistress Carrie, or just click the Patreon link at mistresscarrie.com. And a reminder about all of the places that you can find me online: my official Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Twitter or X, whatever we're going to call it, TikTok, Cameo, YouTube, and on Patreon. There is also a Mistress Carrie podcast, Instagram and Threads. And Wednesday has her Instagram at Wednesday the Goth Pug. And also, you can listen to me every weekday afternoon. Download the 100 FM The Pike app, or go to pikefm.com if you want to listen that way. Or you can download the 106.3 The Bone app and stream the station. So I'm on there in Portland, Maine, every weekday afternoon from 3 to 7. And you can download the Bone app and listen that way as well. And everything that I just told you is linked at mistresscarrie.com. So there you go. Dina says, my husband stole my zip up hoodie and was wearing it all day the other day. Yes. We are developing new hoodies as well. We're working on some ideas. We don't have them solidified yet, but we are working on them. So Keith says, say happy birthday to Louise, damn it. Louise, happy birthday. I'm sorry everybody's been yelling at me on the comments, but it goes by fast. The messages are flying. So happy birthday, Louise. Everybody say happy birthday, Louise. Larry says, Danielle and I are drunkenly happy tonight. We are your biggest fans. Thanks, Larry. Cheers, says Heidi. Woohoo, says Keith. Jonathan wants to know if I have seen the Wendy Williams documentary yet. I have not. I did start watching Dynasty on Apple TV, which is the docu-series about the Patriots. I am up to the episode about Spygate. The documentary's great. The behind-the-scenes stuff with all of the older players, Richard Seymour and Lawyer Malloy, Ty Law, Teddy Bruschi, interviews with Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, Mr. Kraft. It really is a well-rounded picture of putting the team together. And Tom Brady's transition into the quarterback role, it's really interesting to hear the veteran players and what their perspective was, and also to hear Drew Bledsoe's perspective. So if you haven't watched that yet, it's really, really good. But no, I have heard the Wendy Williams documentary is great. Obviously, it came out recently that she has dementia. So obviously, as someone that has a loved one that is dealing with that, it's tough. It's really, really hard. And I believe she has Lewy body dementia, which is the exact same thing that Bruce Willis has. And his family has also been incredibly vocal about the family's journey and protecting dignity, but also wanting to be upfront and honest about their journey. So I'll put it in the queue because I definitely am going to want to watch that. Bish says they trash Belichick relentlessly in the documentary. And they can, but what I learned from the early episodes is that when you go back and watch all of the news footage of the Brady-Bledsoe argument, Belichick got trashed for wanting Brady to be the quarterback because Drew Bledsoe was the $100 million quarterback that got injured. And he turned out to be right. And also, Tom Brady says, I would not have been the quarterback I became if it wasn't for Bill Belichick, because both of them are such scholars of the game. Would Tom Brady have been a great quarterback if he came up under a different coach? Yes, I think he had the ability that he would have been great. But the fact that he learned to see all sides of the game from a master, not only of Belichick, but of all of that coaching staff at the time, I think Brady is the GOAT because he came up under Belichick. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that I haven't watched the rest of it yet, but I thought it was really interesting up through the first few Super Bowls up to Spygate. So I haven't gotten there yet. Jane says, I found the Wendy Williams documentary really sad. Jason says, hey, I'm late, but I'm here. What's up, Jason? John says, what's up, Mistress Carrie? Larry says, my grandpa passed away from Lewy body. It is horrible. Larry, I'm so sorry. It's just terrible. Wednesday is behind you looking so cute and innocent. She is not innocent, Denise. Don't fall for it. Right? You are cute, though, Nugget, aren't you? Yeah, I know. You're so cute. Bledsoe couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag, says Jason. Bledsoe was injured when he came to the Pats. Yeah, you got to watch it. If you're a Pats fan or just a local sports fan in general, it's really, really interesting. Bish says episode 5 talks about drafting Gronk. I've heard some of these stories and I can't wait to see that part of the docuseries. So super excited about it. Okay, just as a reminder, the new episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast comes out at midnight tonight, episode 195, featuring Roger Earl from Foghat. I am going to be off the radio the rest of the week because I am traveling to Vegas. I will fill you guys in next week because I'll be back before the War Room next week on all of the bands that I got to see and all the gossip and stories that I'm able to collect while I'm there. And so it's been a busy week. It's a short week. It's going to be doing a lot of flying over the next few days. And I'm super excited. You guys know how much I love Vegas. I end up out there at least twice a year. Most of the time it's for work to go to these showcases and stuff. So I'm really excited to be able to come back and tell you guys about some of the newer bands. That's what this is. It's about showcasing new bands, the next generation of rock bands. So I really look forward to be able to telling you guys all about the new bands that are going to be coming out. So thank you to everybody watching on Instagram. Go to mistresscarrie.com because you can find everything on the podcast. You can find all the links to my official YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Mistress Carrie YouTube channel. New episode of the podcast coming out at midnight. And keep your eyes on my social pages because I will be in Vegas the rest of the week. Wednesday, say goodnight. Say goodnight, Wednesday. You want to say goodnight? Come here. Oh, my goodness. You want to say goodnight to everybody? Say goodnight, everybody, on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Tell them at Wednesday the Goth Pug on Instagram. Right? Say bye to everybody on YouTube. Good night to everybody on Facebook. Good night, War Room family. We'll see you guys next week. Wednesday, say good night. Don't eat the microphone.